Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to episode 3 of the Heroes of Inaria working title. We're all super excited to finally be able to play this after 2 weeks of waiting. So take us away, Dungeon Daddy.
Okay, let me get this open up. Still waiting for my ramen to cool. Uh, previously, we had been introduced to a multitude of intriguing and mysterious individuals going about their days in their own fashion. And as the party was meandering around a main intersection of Trustville, bizarre individuals began a small assault on some mercenaries and members of the teeming legion. This attack caused some of these individuals to intervene for reasons varying just as widely as their personalities. With Liz taking the brunt of the attack, Iris, Will, Six, and Ruby sprang into action to attack the members of the group known as the Wyvern. During the fight, it was made clear that the Wyvern were after a small chest that had been smuggled onto Six's cart, and with tremendous acts of strength, magic, and brazen retribution, our heroes managed to drive off the Wyvern and retrieve the chest from their possession. Now, as the city begins to lock down and tries to reclaim the calm day that had been interrupted, we rejoin our heroes as Lieutenant Lancer eyes them curiously, deciding the next course of action she should take to restore peace to the city with its intriguing troop of civilians. So, if memory serves me correctly, the closest people to Lieutenant Lancer would actually be Sarah and Vale. Um, so after driving off the group and all of you kind of begun to collect into the corner, into the main intersection of the city, a brown-haired woman clad in leather armor accented with metal pauldrons and striping kind of looks to the two of you. Well, I had heard some odd folks came in from the north. What's going on here?
Are they speaking to me and BB?
You and BBs.
Okay. I just look up to BB and I go, I don't know, BB. What what is going on? Do you know anybody here? I thought we were gonna book it.
Vale is actually just ignoring pretty much everybody and kind of two things focusing on the box that is still burning because they never dropped the heat metal,
Yeah,
and they're gonna kind of look at the box. And oh, is the map up yet? The map's not up on my end.
yeah. Let me move you guys back to the battle map.
Yes,
I didn't
please.
expect us to be there much longer, and wanted to get back to the city map for now. And there we go.
Okay, where exactly is the Curly right there?
Yeah, you two are right here. She's about right here. Uh, the two people that aren't Drada are beginning to slowly heal and restore the members of the teaming legion that had been knocked out by Saphira. And you
Right.
do notice that Drada has their bow pointed at Six and is up on the roof over here.
I
Okay.
can I can see BB's distracted, so I'm gonna reach over and snap a few times and be like, BB, stay with us. Ignore the shiny. What's going on?
Bird Buddy is going to actually just like Sarah's not in metal, correct?
No, Sarah wears no metal at all.
Okay. Their focus is on the big red scaly thing and the treasure box. The big red scaly thing, Vale did see that they got hurt. So they're going to go and curiously look at them or walk
Um,
up to them.
the big red scaly thing is already walking over to one of the dead bodies of one of the mercenaries
That's okay.
and has begun quietly praying over it.
I'm gonna look to
Wha-
whoever was talking to us and be like, "I'm sorry, you know about as much as I do."
Um,
Fair enough. When your
while
friend is all, sorry,
go ahead.
when your friend is all set there, if you could all begin heading into the tavern, I'd like to take your statements. And she waves her hand, and you watch as Drada relaxes the bow, but her eyes are still focused on 6.
Paperwork. Damn you, BB. All right.
um,
But yeah, continue, Vale.
Vale's gonna. Well, Sarah did speak to Vale, so they're gonna kind of just wave them and point to the dead bodies, and that's where. And Vale's gonna follow Liz up there, and they're just gonna kind of watch Liz for a minute, and just kind of like tilt their head, make a little warbling noises of like not just confusion but like genuine interest. Um Liz, are you kneeled or are you standing?
She is standing mostly because it would hurt too much to kneel right now.
Okay. DM.
Um,
Mhm.
Well, I guess not necessarily, but Liz, how bad do you appear at the moment?
I don't look great.
Okay,
However, before you heal me, um,
I didn't say I was going to.
I'm saying before you heal me, um, John, I'm gonna do my prayer thing, and
Go
I'm one
ahead
of
and
them. And there's no one next to me, so no one else gets any. But I'm gonna do my prayer thing, and I heal my proficiency bonus plus my wisdom modifier.
isn't too much if I can't remember correctly.
It's not, but it's still better than being at half health.
Okay. Vale, as you're
Wait,
hold on.
what did you say, Meg?
Vale,
Sorry.
As you're kind of curiously watching this dragonborn, you can't quite make out the language, but you feel a sense of restoration gently beginning to emanate from them. But
Okay.
you don't see any kind of a holy symbol. Uh, Go ahead and just give me a general arcana check.
General what? Arcana?
Arcana. Yep.
If I may, while she's rolling that. And so, like, just in the background, like, a 6 has absolutely already clocked the archer taking aim at her. At that point, the fight's over. She's just gonna find a box to sit on, light up another smoke. Seeing Liz, like, start to, like, try to heal herself. She's like, just rub some dirt in it, you'll be fine.
Okay. Seeing that, listening to everything that's going on, since Liz is not kneeling, and how long are their prayers generally, Liz? Short, long?
It's pretty short. This is mostly just a may your souls go to the afterlife cleanly and you receive the proper judgment.
Okay. Well, probably coming up at the tail end of that and seeing you regain. Do I see her? No, never mind. When it doesn't matter. Vale's going to warble a little bit, half mimic you. It doesn't necessarily caught with the gist of what you said, but just enough to like get your attention. They're gonna look up at you, and they're going to just kind of like reach out and touch what's still there of your in terms of your wounds. As they do. Um, DM, do you want to describe it?
You watch this little kunku kind of like up, looking at you curiously. Um, and they, in the midst of mimicking you, they shift into a menagerie of different voices in a language you don't know. And you begin to feel that restoration prayer begin to accelerate, and you watch as some of your own blood begins to coil back up your body of its own will, strings out across your torso into other wounds, separates, gets back towards the scales, your blood burrows back in, and you feel your skin beginning to heal.
Ugh. Baby, I
And
love you dearly, but I can't watch that.
not only that, DM, but what else happens?
Oh,
I'm drawing a blank.
Okay, well, the last little bit, having nowhere to go, is going to then come out and start to swirl around uh, valediction. And they're just gonna kind of like continue looking at you, warbling like nothing's different. But then all of a sudden, that swirl starts to go somewhere and into the boxy satchel at their side. It starts to just kind of like flow into that space.
Go ahead and roll the healing that she gets. What was that Arcana check I had you roll?
It was a 19.
19.
cool.
All right. Give me
And
one
I
second. I'm going to message you something.
and I
But
also
go ahead and
message them like, what they're going to also see about the body as well.
mhm.
go for it.
That it's under a specific spell.
I'm sorry. And you also heal another okay. You
4.
heal 15 more.
Okay, I'll take that, please.
All right.
And
We can all see that, right? What's
Um,
happening with them, right?
what I would say, what's your pass? What? Let's see, because you just got out of combat. I would say it would take your passive. What's your passive perception? Considering you're not used to
12.
combat. 12. You would see the last little bit of valediction kind of waving their hand and what looks like a red ribbon, like a viscous red ribbon, disappear under their cloak, but you wouldn't have caught most of it. You got anything else, Fail?
after that, they're just gonna attempt to just pretend like nothing happened and hop back over to the box
All right.
if they can.
As she leaves, there was a little bit of a hand outstretched from Liz. She was attempting to reach down and pat Bird Buddy's head, but she has been left hanging.
Ah,
Uh,
pat and miss.
Hey, what's up,
as
Architects of
Lieutenant and
Fate?
you,
Welcome in.
valediction, as you kind of like begin to hop away, you can see that Lieutenant Lancer has been taking in everything and has probably
Mhm.
picked up on a decent amount of what you just did.
That's fine.
She nods to you as you kind of hop past before she steps up to Will and Ruby.
Hello.
Which one of your group points to the treasure chest can turn this off?
Ruby just kind of opens it. Like open and shut, open and shut, open and shut.
No, the fire, like the
Oh,
glowing.
ooh.
How close do I get before they start interacting with the
And how
lady?
much damage is Ruby taking?
They're Ruby and Will are both holding it in such a way where they're not being burned. The only reason
We're playing hot
Ruberlin was
potato.
getting
Yeah,
burned.
so they're playing
The
hot
only-
potato.
Mhm.
Yeah, the only reason Ruberlin was getting burned was because he was holding it like a football, like a running back. These two are just kind of like holding bits and bits and pieces of it, like a couple fingers here, a finger here. So they're not like getting all of the brass.
Like when you're trying to carry a hot lunch back to your room. Try to
Oh,
put
Yeah,
as little
yeah,
on the
yeah.
plate as
About that
possible.
breast, no.
So who can turn this off?
Oh,
And
Let me see. I have. Is that even last? I don't think it's very
You would.
long. Oh yeah, it's
Yes,
probably over by now.
I was about to say. I was about to say you would hear this, and you can choose to turn it off. That is
Yeah.
a free action.
As I'm hopping up there, I'm just gonna like just let it lapse and then kind of. How tall are these guys?
I'm 5 foot.
5 foot 5'11", and Octavia is 5'10".
Who's holding the box currently?
Me and Will.
Will and Ruby.
How close is Octavia to them?
About 5 feet, or arm's length away.
Arm's length away. Um. Well. DM.
Mhm.
Can I, using prestidigitation, open the already open box?
Go ahead and drop it into roll 20 real quick, just because I'm.
It's just a cantrip.
I don't think it does that.
I thought prestidigitation was just
Yeah.
cleaning.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it
It's
does
sensory
more than
effects.
that.
Hold on, prestidigitation is more of like a sensory effect. To get it open, it would be like thaumaturgy.
Okay. I don't have that one. I just wanted to make sure.
Yep.
Yeah, it's mostly used for cleaning, but it does other effects as well.
Yeah, that's what I was mostly inquiring to. Okay.
So
I
you've
guess
turned
I'm
off.
just. Yeah, I've turned it off.
Okay. And
I'm just gonna kind of look
as
at the box. So,
Okay.
yes.
okay, yeah. So you're just looking curiously.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as the two, Will and Ruby, as the two of you are trying to figure out which one of these individuals cast, the heat metal just subsides almost instantaneously.
Ooh.
Right. Now, if I may, and she'll look around to the rest of you. If you could all head into the tavern, I'd like to take your statements. And she takes the hold of the chest, ma'am, and begins to.
Yeah, Ruby
Uh,
just kind of lets go and
Come
starts
on,
walking.
Phoebe. Come on,
And-
Phoebe. You guys involved in this.
And I make sure that the box was properly given to Octavia.
All
Did
right.
anybody attempt to close the box as it was being handed over?
It was closed.
Okay.
Quick question though. Has the enchantment for the polymorph for this guy gone off?
Oh yeah.
He's
By
still a pig.
now, yeah, it's like by now, probably about the same time that that Lieutenant Lancer grabs the box, you just hear, and there's a human on all fours just. He just slowly gets back up and starts heading towards the tavern.
Liz just mutters under her breath. Brings new meaning to Pothok pig.
Hey, you said it, not me.
Let's get inside.
No.
We have to give statements.
You want me to go inside?
I will buy you more food, please. Let's go inside.
What, you think I can be swayed with food? Look, I'll come in, but because that's what I want to do. I'm thirsty.
I can be swayed by food.
I didn't offer
Ruby,
for you.
Ruby will kind of turn around while walking backwards. I'll buy anybody in the fight a drink. It's on me.
Oh hell yeah! Good job, BB.
Will just
Think,
eyes and looks to Octavia, says, I need a drink.
I think I do too.
The sword dissipates by
So-
now.
Yeah,
By
the
the way.
sword was dissipated. Yep.
Baby is still covered in bones.
Yeah.
Wait, did I ever
Thunder.
notice the sword?
Yes, we discussed this. Will.
Yeah, you would have noticed the sword when you grabbed the box.
So
Uh.
before going in, like Six will stand, kind of stuff her hands in her jacket. Just kind of look up to Drada. It's kind of up nod and walk in.
Wait, I need to open my notes.
There's a wide little grin, and she'll give me a perception check. See if you can
Alrighty.
catch her more subtle.
Let's see. What is my perception? Not great, but good enough. Let's see. What's the roll? It's 14.
I would say you would see her head tilt look and turn a little bit towards Will, and then back to you and shake. Just like she kind of like gently shakes her head.
Did I notice?
You would have not. You would have not.
All you
Okay.
comps are the same. Yeah, I'm heading to the tavern, but because I want to.
So as you all make your way inside, um, you would for those who were on the eastern portion of the intersection, you would have seen some glances into it prior to the fight, and you would notice immediately that all the tables are shoved over to a corner near what looks to be a stage and are upended onto their side, and you can see a bit of blonde hair, like just in arms, hunkering people down behind the tables, and over behind the bar to the right, you can see lizard folk eyes peering up over the top of her. Hey, I think it's over, guys.
Okay, people
And
are dead.
like, you watch as almost like gophers from behind the table, as heads begin to slowly stand up.
Will just raises an eyebrow, but proceeds to head to the tavern bar side.
Ruby will walk up. I am buying any drinks for any odd characters who walk through the door that were in the fight outside, and she'll just set down the needed amount.
So, so well, your voice certainly sounds familiar. He kind of begins to count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then with the guards, he gets to about 12, 13 or so people.
Okay.
It'll be about 1 gold and 5 silver.
I'll give him 3 gold.
Starting off the big spending already.
Yeah, we're already gonna break the economy more so than it already has been.
The most expensive thing on
Uh,
the menu.
Break open a new
Lieutenant
whatever it's called.
mm,
I'm just
Lieutenant
looking at me
Lancer
for being
will
strong.
Lieutenant Lancer will look to the lizard folk. Have your customers head upstairs for right now, and he nods, looks to a fairly beautiful, fair-haired blonde elf woman, and she begins to muster everybody upstairs, leaving you and the few guards.
6 is admiring.
Liz takes a moment and
6.
snaps her. She doesn't snap because she can't snap her fingers, but she takes her claws and she like makes noise next to Six's ear and says, "Hey,
Hmm?
pay attention."
What? Water. Take water. I just kind of look back. Just kind of lean. And then come back with the
So,
water.
right. So as the couple of guards slowly begin to put the tables back to normal, the
Help them.
guests are quick. Yep, the guests are quickly shuffled back out after collecting their belongings from upstairs.
Can Liz move one of the
Thor,
tables by herself?
probably, uh, but Thor will just kind of thumb to a familiar waiter who still has a stain on his pants, and the blonde elven woman, and kind of thumbs to the side room as the two of them head towards the back room. He sets out a tray of a variety of different drinks. So each can take your pick, and he just kind of leans against the northeast corner door, and immediately plugs his ears, but he's still watching.
Saw enough to spook that kid, is what Will says as he drinks from his mead.
Iris is taking a big gulp. It's like just a little
Is this-
shaky.
Liz drinks whatever's handed to her.
I'm already
Ruby
pouring my
probably
second
got-
glass from the pitcher.
Ruby's got wine and then probably whiskey for anybody who looks like they drink whiskey, and then just beer for anybody. 2 differences.
I'm still waiting to know what the most expensive thing on the menu is.
And whatever Sarah wants, because she wants to be a pricey bitch.
Damn straight, you offer. That's your fault.
All right.
Sarah would also know that Vale likes the strong stuff too.
We'll probably end up drinking something similar.
Okay.
2 of those then.
All
This
right,
is
so-
called Happy Juice. I'll take 6 bottles.
I will take a glass of whiskey.
all right.
All
So
right.
as you all kind of settle down, Lieutenant Lancer kind of leans against the bar, and the remainder of you watch as Will and Iris lean off, are off just to her left. She kind of looks to the two of you. So, as she puts the box on the bar. She kind of eyes the rest of you. I need persuasion or deception checks. Put them in roll 20 from everybody except Will and Iris.
Sorry.
3 seconds.
You said in roll 20?
Persuasion or deception, don't tell me which, just put them in roll 20.
I don't know why that didn't go through, but I had a 23.
Oh, there we go. Ooh, okay. I'm still waiting on Ruby and Liz. Ooh,
Did
So
you
the
hear
one
my?
that
"Oh."
the one that can talk for the one that really doesn't talk. That 20.
hey,
Wait, are they
sometimes the best thing to say is nothing at all.
Are they just copying what I'm saying? Just better?
I didn't
Yeah.
realize I was muted. I was trying to ask what that roll was for. I apologize.
Persuasion or deception, don't tell me which, put it in roll 20. I'll need it for later.
For what?
Persuasion or deception, don't
What?
tell me which.
Why am I rolling this? Is what I'm trying to ask.
Because
Lieutenant
he asked you
Lancer
to.
is
Oh,
is
okay.
inciting you guys.
Ooh, net 20.
Must be nice.
Oh,
Do
Why am
I'm
I?
gonna-
I don't
I'm
understand.
gonna do a roll, ignore it. I'm just trying to see if it works here. Come on. Okay, now it's working.
All right, cool. Okay. That's actually a really interesting spread.
Crying.
There's a noticeable pause at you, Liz. And you watch as Lieutenant Lancer leans over to one of the other guards. Go get him real quick, would you? Yeah, of course. And you watch as the guard runs out the front door and starts heading east.
When Liz huffs in annoyance, there is a little bit of smoke, just barely visible to those close to her.
Tall person? Sus.
Lancer will then look to Ark and Iris.
Will.
Or yeah, sorry, Will and Iris. gonna take some time. Looks to the two of you. Well, you guys certainly had unexpected help, but you guys were able to get the job done and then some. Well done. What and she turns the chest away from the rest of you and um looks into it briefly, closes it. What do you make of this, Ark? Or God damn it,
Oh.
what do you make of this, Will?
Very glittery.
I don't know. But it must be important if they wanted it. And he was whispering it when he said it.
Do I see that they're looking in the chest?
I haven't seen that yet.
So, do we know what the vial is about, or
Vial?
yeah, there's like
And
a few little vials in there. They're shiny.
and she'll noticeably wave her hands. Until we know what this is, let's not talk about it.
I'd kind of like to
Oh.
know what the hell it is. I got it, so I think I'm kind of, entitled to know what's going on.
Okay, well, considering where that, and she looks back towards the very damaged cart that's now being slowly dragged away as like the creaking of one of the wheels has been noticeably warped. So it's like
I didn't
on
do
bad
that.
shock.
Didn't do that.
Considering the aesthetic of that cart, I guess you're from Advalor. And she
Not by
opens the
choice.
chest and pulls
What'd you
out
say, Angel?
Lancer pulls out a small, thin pouch that seems to glow slightly from the top with a slight silver light. Much less bright now that it's exposed to sunlight and candlelight versus the shade of the chest. And as she undoes it and pulls a vial out, 6. Need a wisdom save, please.
Lovely. My favorite. All right. +19 +4. Let's go.
Hey.
Nice.
Okay.
Bless you.
You would the images from that night flash in your head briefly. You kind of tense up, and Liz, you notice this. She kind of 6 kind of curls her hands into fists. 6, you recognize this as a product of a factory that was in the city you resided in.
Liz grabs one of the extra glasses of whiskey and just kind of slides it over to 6.
I'm going to ignore it and start moving towards the person holding is like, listen, you need to pour that down a drain now. Burn it, get rid of it, something. I don't care, just gone.
And just from hearing that, I realize it must not be good.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check, 6.
I really am not good at charisma.
Here, wait.
You,
Oh, I don't think I have anything I can help her with, do I?
You
oh,
wouldn't.
you ran out of your feet.
Not just that, but you don't know me. 13.
True.
What was it?
13.
13. Of all, okay. All right. She kind of eyes you for a moment, and there's you all catch the slightest shift of her eyes from you, and then to Will and Iris. Interesting. Okay. And she slides the pouch or the vial back into the pouch. Do you know how to destroy it?
More or less.
What's the best course of action besides pouring it into a well
Well,
or
you
into the
definitely
ocean?
don't want to pour it into a well. You're going to fuck everybody up here if you do that.
Do you know what it is? We'll ask.
It's a drug from down south. Burning it seemed to work. Just don't get it into your bloodstream. Don't ingest it. Don't get it on you.
Hearing that it's a drug from down south, would I know what she's talking about?
Can I
Give
make a
me
history check as well?
for those from Advalor, give me history checks.
Oh, what is my history? I don't even know. Okay.
My dice, I think they're upset for hanging out on the couch this week.
Okay. Yep. Solid. Does this count as a short rest, by the way?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
9.
9.
9.
9. Um, given the actually the numbers actually work. Given the time of creation and where it's whatever this substance is, Liz, you wouldn't have caught wind of it. Ruby, you would have heard before your travels very faint rumors of this drug making its way into the capital.
Do I know the name?
Mm-mm.
Hmm.
There's talks of a new drug.
I don't remember this being there when I was last in Advalor.
It's
Sorry.
it's a new drug in the capital, I believe. At least that's what I've heard.
Because the capital needed more drugs.
Oh, they need everything nowadays.
Listen, burn it, pour it in the dirt, whatever. Just don't let it get into the water. And there was
I
a
can
little.
help burning it.
Sorry.
She'll take a long strap of leather from her that binds her torso, almost like a corset along the leather plate. She pulls a portion of it off, cuts it, ties it around the box, and holds it directly next to her. I'll see to it. Do you have any ideas of who those people were and what they wanted with it? Any of you?
No, I don't know who they were.
I'd like to insight check her.
That's what I was just gonna ask.
Yeah, no, I definitely don't trust her with it.
I didn't think about that.
Go ahead. 6, Liz, and Vale. Go ahead and give me insights.
That's much better, Liz. Much, much better.
Type it in.
You
Yeah.
just tell me since it's only the 3 of you.
24.
17.
Damn.
Vale, what was yours?
22.
22.
Vibe check.
With those vibe checks, you can clearly tell she is a woman of the people. She will destroy it.
Liz just kind of looks down at it, makes direct eye contact, and just lets out a puff of smoke. Whatever.
Did any of you get any names from those individuals? And she
Um.
immediately looks to you, Ruby. Think you had one? From what?
Well, I was enjoying a breakfast or lunch now. Midway through, he walked out. I believe his name was Mattis. Mattis? Is that how you say his name? Mattis?
This, yep.
Matis. He's a half Goliath. He worked in the lumber yard. At least that's where we met. I assume he worked in the lumber yard because he spoke with the person running it. And then I can point out where we were eating. But that's about it.
No, I
Where
don't
were
have
you
any
eating?
names.
Where were
What?
you eating, Miss? She's asking where you were eating.
She'll walked over the window and point directly to the house she was in, with the sword, I'm assuming, still sticking out of the knob.
At this point, you would have figured out that it was actually the one of the bladed feathers of his wing backpack.
Is it still in the doors? What I mean.
No.
Oh, okay. She'll just point to it then.
Isn't her
So-
flail still there? Or mace?
The mace is gone.
Okay.
Yeah. She'll look to the other guard, point to the house. Well, until I can decide what to do with all of you, and he sighs for a moment and looks to you and you, Will and Iris. Fortunately, I'm going to ask you all to remain here for the night. I'm going to send for a group of troops to protect the tavern overnight. You guys are,
And I need
all
to
of you are
be
free
on
to move
watch
up.
as well.
I would like you to be on watch, yes. You are all free to move about the city, but you have to be back by sundown.
Bad baby.
Delightful. As long as I can get my things done.
At
That's
least
all I
this-
care about.
Understandable.
At least the cell is bigger this time.
Well,
Liz
Devo,
snorts out a little bit of a laugh at that.
see about all of you finding some extra work in the meantime.
I'll look to the tavern keep. How much do rooms cost here?
2 silver a night each.
Okay,
And Canada-
I'll cover everyone here.
I'm
It's an
sure that
inconvenience for us all.
I'm sure the Teeming Legion wouldn't mind covering our stay here. I mean, after all, we are being sort of forced into it, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm not paying anything if I'm being forced to stay here.
Yeah.
We'll be
neither
covering
sh-
the rooms.
Yeah, you
Perfect
will.
And the
then.
food?
Here, I'll be right back.
It's a lot better than that back room at the library.
You sleep in a
Maybe we're gonna
library.
take this, guys.
She kind of smiles to Iris and then looks over to you, Sarah. And you seem pretty capable.
How did you get here, by the way, madam?
Sorry, what was that? Out of
How did
question.
you get here? How did you get to the city?
Yeah, you kind of showed up right in time to take credit for our work.
I grew up here, and I have no intention of taking credit.
Wait, they what here?
I grew up
Grew up.
here.
So you live here?
Mhm.
Yes.
Damn. I was about ready to do a full-on inspection of their horses and ding them for everything.
I don't think
Will
you
just
should
back.
admit
grabs his
that out
hood and
loud.
pulls it up.
The Lieutenant Lancer will look to you, Will. I'll fetch your things from the barracks.
Thank
And
you.
in terms of inspection of the stables, the horny horse is mine. And she just walks out with the chest.
You ever call a horny horse?
Will lets us snort.
Yeah, the horny horse was the one that Jebediah was trying to calm down, waiting for its companion.
So what? She like
Oh,
rides a
man,
unicorn or what?
Oh, she's smashing the horse. I'm not investigating that. That's now some. We need a better priest.
As
Does
wait,
Sarah say we need a better priest, or does
Yes.
there's that
Yes, what I
Liz
said.
just
Oh,
kind of
she's banging the horse. We need a better priest.
as
Liz
Sarah
just kind
says
of like
that? Oh, go ahead, Liz. You first.
turns away?
Will stifling a chuckle.
Ruby
Vale's been
is laughing. Sorry.
okay. Vale's been sitting shuffling a deck the entire time, and as Sarah says something about a priest, they kind of flip over the top card that they've been shuffling, and it just so happens to be a depiction of a priest on the front.
That's
What are you?
spooky at all.
Are they a priest?
What was that?
I asked, are they a priest?
Oh, I'm not here yet. One party's got to answer that question.
Yeah, I'm asking them
What?
directly. You a priest?
No, not at all.
Damn.
I mean, I make people scream, "Oh God," but that doesn't make me a priest.
I do too, but
Listen,
for different reasons.
listen. So does the horse, but that's not what we're talking about right now.
Liz at this point is just glaring at her glass of whiskey,
Ugh.
wishing
Will
to be drunk.
Will just sits down, takes out his bone dice, and proceeds to roll 2 of them out of boredom.
You know what? I'm
Liz
not
just
involved in this. I was promised booze. I'm drinking booze. Baby, let's drink.
All right, so we've got free run of the city, right? Person.
You are
That's what you
free to move.
said.
Yeah, you are free to move amongst the city, but you have to be back by sundown. So at this point, you got about 5 hours.
Great. I'll see you guys
Delightful. I
later.
have things to take care of. Sorry.
I'm gonna go out into the city and look for a place to throw hands.
Liz will ask Six if she needs any cash.
Actually, first off, I'm gonna take a short rest and then find a place to throw hands.
I'm gonna walk out the door anyway, and just a spark of green, as she walks out the door, and John, I'll send you what I did.
Ready?
I look at Iris and ask, "Wanna head back to the library?"
She's just finishes the entire glass. Like at least there was at least half, but a couple of gulps. She just sets down. Books would definitely be a lot less entertaining.
Alright. He gets up, grabs his bone dice, puts them back. His head's still up, and he proceeds to head out with Iris.
I'll let you determine, DM, when I've restored my spirit enough to take a walk.
I would say, well, it would probably be after Lieutenant Lancer left with the box, probably about 20 minutes after that. So we'll go
Fair
to. We will go to the brain. Ruby first. Go ahead and give me an investigation check. What are you looking for?
Uh, I'm gonna look for that one shot first.
Okay.
Another natural 20.
Jesus.
Could you save some luck for the rest of us?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got the golden snitch this time as Ruby instead of
Yeah,
Will
save
this
some of
game.
that juju,
Apparently.
boo.
21.
All right, 1 second. 1 second. What's up, Liz?
I was just gonna say Liz downs the rest of her and Six's untouched drink.
Mine's
Okay.
just water. Like, it is legit just water.
Liz had passed you a glass of whiskey as well.
So you're
Just
taking.
push it back.
She takes it back and drinks it.
I don't drink.
For those who are drinking, go ahead and give me. So I think that's Vale, Sarah, and Liz. Con
And me.
saves.
Hey, DM.
All right.
And
time,
Iris.
time to fail a
Yeah.
con save.
What's up? Oh.
Angel, I believe he's
Okay.
No, maybe not.
So go ahead and hold on to those con saves for now.
I'll send you what I'm talking about real quick as well.
Yep.
Why aren't you sending these?
here. Where are my? It would be the folder that says shops. Let's see here. All right. I'm so glad All right, so Ruby, as you start making your way through the city, you notice even at a distance from the outer walls, you can still see members of the Teeming Legion. Uh, uh, running across the top, continuing their lockdown procedure on high alert. And you start heading a little bit north to the northwestern district.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to about here, and you notice that there's another little side alley. You kind of make your way, kind of sneak your way into it, and very back, in kind of like its own corded off little area, is an alchemist shop. Across the top reads the Gleaming Melancholy.
Okay.
And it's a two-story stone-walled building with a little bit of with a yellow tiled roof. That's the roof itself is a little bit spotchy in some areas. It's missing a couple tiles. Heavy ivy has grown up the sides. Is dimly lit and fairly shabby as you kind of make your way into the interior. And in the back, with their back to you, you see a large round figure. You don't quite see the head as they're a little hunched over, standing about 5'10" ish. And you can make out dark leathery brown skin with long hair that's frizzy and wild, that goes down the back. That's a light turquoise color. And they seem to be wearing a deep red amaranth ensemble that's accented with teal.
Oh, can I do
So-
the
Thanks for
before
the
I
sip, Cupid.
enter? Thank you. Can I do that? The disguise self before I head in.
What do you disguise yourself as?
I disguise myself as a beautiful elvish woman with long, dark brown hair. Her eyes are like a golden color rather than the blue. Sharp features and everything. And then I'll head inside.
So as you make your way inside and you see, while it is dimly lit, the lighting is almost oblong and off center for bits of plants that are in the back corner that require a little bit more light, darker and danker, and a little mildewy in the other side for darker vegetation and fungi. And as this individual turns around, you see a female turtle, kind of hunched over, wide glasses. Let's see. Can I help you, dear?
I love her already.
Hi.
Same.
Hi. I wanted to ask, if I wanted to get something made here, a small thing, combining of two components. I wanted to get like an idea of how much that would cost me.
It would depend on the components.
Some lipstick and some poison.
Someone wrong you.
Mm, not yet, but we must be prepared, of course.
Of course. We tell that to my husband, but he's no longer here. And she begins to shuffle across. I would need a little bit of time to process some of these, and you can see, well, like there's a little bit of a jar of what looks like torpor oil, a couple different jars of preserved dried leaves, uh, And lipstick would probably take a day or two.
Hmm.
Come here. And she'll kind of beckon you with a finger.
She'll follow along behind her.
And as you get a little close, there's a noticeable lack of decorum from this woman who's this female turtle who's very sheltered. She just kind of grabs you by your scuff and pulls you in, and you can feel her thumb kind of go across your lips. Slightly.
No, you're perfectly all right.
Sorry, what was that?
You're perfectly all right.
When she presses her fingers, well, your lips aren't particularly dry, so they won't necessarily absorb much. That's good. I would say if you want, let's see here, is she? If you want oil of tiglet,
All right.
I would say, or oil of tagot. Apologies. It would say, since it's not a vial, say about 200 gold. But if you're looking for something a little bit cheaper, I can take some malice poison and dilute it down,
Hmm.
and that would be 150.
Hmm. Let me double check how much I have. Let's do the oil of the target. If you're gonna go big, well, go big.
200. Let's say it'd be about 2 days. Is there a particular shade of lipstick you'd like?
Is it hard if I buy that and bring that to you?
Up?
Delightful. I will make sure to get that to you as soon as I can.
See you in 2 days.
All right. Might I catch your name, my dear?
My name is Nilok.
Nilal? Nilal? Blah, 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 blah,
Nilok.
blah. Nilak.
Nelok.
Neloak.
Just okay. No A.
Nel. Okay. Nilak. What a wonderful name you have, my friend.
What's yours, if I may ask?
Oh, you can call me. Oh, let me look at my notes here real quick.
What lie should I tell Grandma today?
Thalia.
God, I'm sorry. What was that?
Thalia.
Thalia. She kind of eyes you. Give me a persuasion or deception.
Okay. Gil didn't fuck me.
You sound angry about that.
No, it's good. It's good. Good. 18.
It was a pleasure to meet you, Thalia.
Pleasure to meet you.
Now, and as she kind of like beckons you toward the door, she points a little bit northward. Go that way because you're not supposed to use the alley, you dunce. And she just swaps you in the butt and shuts the door.
Ooh. All right.
Ooh.
And she'll walk out.
More
All right.
more action from the turtle than the Goliath.
All right. 6, you said you were headed out to look for a place to throw hands, right?
Yeah, but I was taking a short rest to regain my key points.
That's fine. We can cover you next.
You're faded out.
Oh, Eating my ramen. We can handle you next. We can handle you now.
Alrighty, so let me go ahead and restore my key. Alright, yeah. I'm gonna go look for a place to release some rage.
Go ahead and roll me an investigation.
Because I'm so good at that. All right, party members, say it with me. 9!
9!
Yep, that's a 9. Hey, Ariak.
Uh,
Welcome in.
Unfortunately, that is not a high enough investigation to find a viable place to throw hands. Considering the activity of the guard, any alleyway brawls or anything like that seems to have shut down for the day. But you spend probably a good 2 hours out there, so if you want to do something else.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing something else. Hang on. So he's gonna kind of like look around. I'm unsupervised.
Was this said out loud?
Oh,
Well,
Yeah.
she's gone at this point by the time
Oh,
he
Yeah.
says
okay.
that.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's gone. She's just somewhere in the street, just realizing she's unsupervised.
However, a chill does run down your spine, and you feel something is terribly wrong.
Liz is like, oh fuck, wait, she's unsupervised.
No, they don't know what's up. They just know something is wrong.
So let's see. You know
I
what?
feel like there's weapons in the force.
I'm gonna message you, Dungeon Daddy.
Okay.
Ooh.
Go ahead and give me another investigation check.
Alrighty.
I would say add advantage.
That's actually better. 15.
15. Okay. So as you head towards the docks, the the scent of sea breeze, salt and sea breeze, now kind of filling your nostrils. So it's now that you've had time to process and cool down, been a long time since you've smelled it so clearly. Even with the sense of the fisheries.
Even with the fisheries, like it smells like home almost.
Yeah, a few elements are missing here and there.
Mostly the smog.
Yeah.
Smoggity smoke.
And as you get to about, where is it? Here, in this corner, you see a building known as the East Docks, the East Dock home of Wayward Wards.
I'm gonna go up and knock.
Okay. But as you knock and wait a minute, you can hear, keeper, someone's here, and you hear light footsteps kind of rushing towards the door, and opening it is a light gray tiefling boy, about 6 years old, jet black hair. His kind of peeks from
Wait a minute.
between the door and the door frame. You recognize Cyrus. Not that you recognize Cyrus, but it's Cyrus.
Gotcha.
You motherfucker. You motherfucker. They're fucking orphans. God.
So Sickle just kneel down. Hey, is some matron around?
She'll be here just a second.
Okay. I'll wait.
You can hear another Uh, you can hear another set of footsteps approaching. But as he kind of you watch as Cyrus wipes some food from his jaw and looks to the approaching figure. I'm gonna go find Keldra again. Okay, okay. And he just opens the door, pushes past you, and starts heading south. And you can see him run towards the beach. And you see a maternal human woman, bits of gray hair already beginning to peek their way through her blonde hair, dark brown eyes. And she smiles and what brings you here, might I ask?
Hi, I just wanted to offer some help around the place for a little while. Is that okay?
Okay. Not a problem. We just finished up lunch. If you help me with some of the dishes and tidying up
Yeah, I'd love
the
to.
children's restaurant. Okay. And she opens the door and welcomes you in.
And I'll spend the next few hours washing dishes and tidying up.
John,
Yeah,
want to DM me real quick?
yep.
Yeah, sorry.
You're already. I'm already keeping track. Who else was it that had left to go to? I think it was Will. You went to the library.
With
Will
Iris.
and Iris. Yeah.
Yes.
So Will and Iris are going to the library. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So you guys head back east. You cut through the training grounds to the back entrance of the barracks here. And it's as you guys approach, you can actually see Lieutenant Lancer is about to come back out with a familiar knapsack for you, Will.
Thank you. He said and reaches to grab it.
She hands it off. I'm assuming the two of you are heading back to the library.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
There
Uh,
to help ease the nerves.
make make sure you're back by the tavern. I sent word to Rucker that to Rucker Flask Buster over at the helm that one of his hired hands is back at the tavern, and I'm gonna request him to send a couple jobs over in the morning.
Oh, that's why she looks familiar.
Yeah, I thought she was too. And
Liz,
Admar's fine. He's actually taking the rest of the day off. He's a little on edge.
I wager is that. Could you send a message to him and tell him I'm sorry for what happened.
Oh, you you enjoy the rest of your day. Just try to relax. And as she kind of walks past, there's that shift from military to maternal, and she kind of gives you a playful shove. Will try not to fall back into your obsessive habits. And
I'll
she
have a step
smiles
that
and
hard, but I'll try.
okay, and she'll smile and head to this range where she begins to help some of the trainees. So what are you guys doing at the library after you cut through the barrack?
I'm gonna keep searching for books on runes.
Okay. Iris?
I she started to look for the books, look through the books again, but just kind of got quiet and just sat there. She was a little bit in shock about what happened and what she did.
Will notice and looks up and says, "You did good."
Yeah, y- I just never done that to people. I've. Am I gonna get in trouble for taking Eddie like that?
You saved his life. And
I took control of him, and she seems like this is something that she actually hated to do, but
I placed my hand on her hand and said, "Look, he was already being controlled, and you stopped him from doing something that might have scarred him for a while."
I promised I wouldn't do what the monsters did and take control. And then I just did it so naturally. This this is why I need to find them. That's why I need to know what they are. So I don't become them.
Will just nods and retracts his hand.
Thank you.
I'm not always the best at comforting people. And he rubs his hand on the back of his neck.
Okay.
And
If you
he
guys are
just goes back to checking the runes.
right. Are you guys both going to do investigations?
Sure. I might as well, yeah.
All right.
You said investigation, right?
Investigation. Yep.
Okay, let me pull up my character sheet.
That's a 9 from me.
Ah,
Brain's a little too.
nice.
Nine.
16.
A little not. Just a little distracted from what happened and how she's feeling about what she did.
No.
Will, what was your investigation?
16.
16. Unfortunately, after a couple hours of searching, it's become a repetitive motion of, we did this shelf yesterday, we did this shelf the day before, and unfortunately, due to the limited knowledge contained here at this library, neither of you are able to find what you're looking for.
I'll have to look over my notes again. May find someone who could tell what these runes are. He gets up, puts the books away, and said, "We should head back. Sun will set soon."
The one book that she managed to, actually in her state actually read, she just kind of closed and put it back gently as well. I'd rather not let the poor man freak out over any more of a mess.
Poor Sven.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
When Will exits the library, he looks back again, specifically at the plaque, just for a second, before proceeding back to the tavern.
Follows right behind her.
And this is obviously a familiar plaque to both of you. At the top, it states, "For those we lost and the answers we seek," and it's an endless list of names, separated in half. The top portion being for the citizens of Oakhart, and the bottom half being the citizens of Rumbark's Rest, with a very ornate memorial at the bottom.
And she still finds it quite odd to see her name up there. Every once in a while, she just looks at it for a second, then moves on.
But as the two of you head back, we are actually going to cut back over to Ruby, who has been meandering about the city. And as you also approach a building known as the East Docks Home for Wayward Wards. Even with your passive perception, you can see dark blood red hair on a very familiar woman tidying up the living room as you approach.
I've dropped it, by the way, by the time I've got to this.
Yep, you're back. You're back looking like you're nasty.
Yeah. I'll walk up
So-
and
For Ruby's benefit, just seeing from outside, like seeing into Six, like cleaning up this orphanage, she looks at peace. There's no scowl, there's no hatred, there's no anger. She's just at peace.
y'all are gonna break my fucking heart. Okay. I'm gonna knock up on the door. I'm gonna start crying.
She's just
Six.
gonna
You
grab
turn and see
this.
Genasi.
I don't see shit. I hear this knock, and I just take this basket of laundry that I've got, and I'm going down to clean it.
Six just walked out. Is that what happened?
Yeah, no, she heard the knock, and she doesn't want to be seen.
I'll wait until somebody opens the door.
She don't want to be caught with someone's underoos.
Can I ask, what's the name of the orphanage again? I heard it twice and I still didn't get it all down.
Oh yes, please.
The East Dock Home for Wayward Wards. The East
Thank
Dock
you.
is just the name of the district.
Mhm.
And Home for Wayward Wards. It takes a couple minutes, but crap, did I name this woman? Because
No, you did
the
not.
one thing I forgot. Okay, the one thing I forgot is this orphanage. I didn't do is this orphanage. But
Rip.
as you knock and you wait a moment, trusting your passive perception, you can hear some footsteps. But as they're approaching closer, you can hear some cheers and laughter coming from the beach, Ruby, and you can see a light gray tiefling boy playing amongst a small family of dragonborn, all three of which are dark blue, and one of them is about his age. But as you turn back, you are face to face with a very maternal, graying-haired blonde woman with dark brown eyes. Can I help you?
Hi. I see you're already getting help. But if it's alright, I'd like to make a donation just to make sure the children have a comfortable amount of time.
Oh. I mean, by all means, I'm certainly not gonna turn down. And there's a slight pause where it's, we do get help from the city, but
True. But still. And I'd like to hand her 15 gold.
15 gold. Okay. There's
Damn.
as she kind of cups out her hands, you count out piece by piece, pulling them from your bra. And she just
I would have already
Cries.
pulled them from the bra.
but yeah, you grab
Award.
I
the
grabbed a
physical.
pouch from the bra.
Yeah. And you
Oh
just
shit!
kind of one by one and piling it into her hands, and with each coin, her eyes get wider and wider. And the last couple clinks begin to bring a tear to her eye. Thank you. I don't know what to say. She said this is about what we get from the city each month.
Well.
Six is just around the corner, just listening to this interaction. Just out of sight.
They deserve more, but they seem happy.
Thank you. We're short-handed from time to time, but we get by.
Well, hopefully this helps. Do you need any more help around here, or?
I'm all set though. Thank you. We actually had a couple volunteers already today.
All right. Well, then I will leave you to your day, and she'll start turning to leave.
You have a good day as well. And she smiles, watches you head down the front steps, and shuts the door. You're gonna head back to tavern from here, Ruby?
I'd like to go over to the beach.
Okay.
And can I hold the thing between my boobs?
What?
The symbol.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. As you.
I'd like
Yeah.
to bring it up and whisper in Sylvan. Hey, can you do me a favor and bring some butterflies around for them?
You hear that same eerie voice. It's like, are you sure?
Yes,
It-
pretty please.
Because you're so sweet. And you
Thank you.
wait a moment, about 5 or so minutes, and you can see a couple from the trees that dot the eastern side of the roadway just before it gets to the beach itself. You can see about 4 or 5 butterflies slowly begin to drift down as a more distinct one joins and begins to hover around the two kids. As you head back, Thick, how much longer do you stay at the?
I'm gonna show back up the tavern a little bit late, enough to worry Liz a bit.
One second.
Just doing her best to give her a bit of a conniption.
I'm doing more
Oh.
important things. So we'll say
Yeah,
10 minutes late.
Very, go ahead and give me a stealth check. Actually, since we're gonna jump back to the tavern, folks, what are those con saves? Since you are
Mine was
How many are you doing?
17 or an 18. It's in the.
yeah, okay, 18. Liz was
18
17.
for me.
Okay. You got okay. Yeah, those weren't. I would say, Iris, during that you were probably a little buzzed, kind of, or not necessarily buzzed, but a little wafty enough to,
You feel it?
it's yeah, like your body's relaxed, but your head's still going that mile a minute.
That's the worst.
Oh yeah. But yeah,
She's not good.
since everyone else that's still at the tavern is busy in the drink, go ahead and give me a stealth check, Phil.
19.
19. I'm pretty sure that beats everybody's passives that's at the tavern.
Yeah, mine's 14.
Okay. So as Liz and Sarah relax at the tavern, just keeping to themselves, Vale, you head back south towards your cart. It hasn't been touched. There's actually a guard standing the post who's protecting your wares for you. And do you acknowledge him at all, or you just?
Yeah, I just kind of glance at him, glance at the cart, give a short little nod, and I mimic Sarah.
Hey, stud muffin.
And then walk past my cart into the back of back behind the cart and further into the park behind it.
There's a very distinct look of confusion. Not expecting that voice out of you, but he nods and kind of like shakes his head a little bit. You can see there's a little bit of bags under his eyes. So he might have had an extended shift, so he might have not fully processed what he just witnessed.
That's delightful. Oh my
Uh,
god.
but as you head back to the alleyway, you do see just on the outside, on the back side of the church that you had parked next to, are a few gravestones. What do you do?
Vale is going to, on the way, take one of the white feathers that is the only white feather dangling on their cart, and they're going to kind of they're going to pluck it off of the chime they have it on, and they're going to continue back towards the gravestones. And is there a gate to this area?
On the back portion near the graveyard itself, there is a gate, but it is open to allow mourners to come and pay their respects.
Okay. Vale's going to slip back into there. Is there a particularly large stone or structure back here, like a crypt? Not necessarily a crypt, but like a mini chapel or whatever back here?
Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Sixteen plus 5, 21.
I'm sorry, what was that?
21.
21. Okay, let me just double check something. Okay. You do see a fairly older one that's kind of like tucked in the back corner. The inscription itself has faded with time, either due to lack of care or just high exposure to the elements. You said you got a 21?
Yes.
For the briefest of moments, as you kind of looking over this space, you kind of look around looking for the familiar sights of and noises. None of them are familiar. So go ahead and roll me a d12. Based on what you had sent me.
Just a simple D12, no addeds?
This is straight d12.
10.
10, okay. Interesting enough. So as you one second.
Am I gonna get hurt?
So as you second, there we go. All right, so as you kind of sit down, you open up your book, the familiar table of contents. The familiar table of contents in a language that you don't recognize, despite your years of study. You kind of thumb through the pages, and they all tend to be blank. And you kind of sit there and meditate, and you think back to the fight, and remember watching Liz begin to pray. You kind of begin to mimic them again. Take a deep breath, and you focus on that feather. And as you do, a chill begins to crawl up your spine, causing you to rustle your feathers slightly. And as you begin to meditate, the feather bursts into flames, deep red at first, shifting to orange, then to blue, back to red, to purple, to green, then to a vibrant, fiery, almost dragon fire green, before it extinguishes and a slight gust of wind begins to billow the pages across. And one of the blank pages now has very briefly, shows a depiction of a dragonborn woman, just their head, in blood, and a single word underneath it. And in that one moment, you recognize that word. Prisoner.
Oh, fuck.
And then it fades. And then the depiction of the dragonborn and that word fades.
Oh, fuck. What was that?
Is this feather, did it completely burn away, or is it still there?
Still there.
Okay. On this blank page, Vale's going to start writing. Just writing. Recounting the day. But in order to get the ink, they're going to take the tip of the feather, which is sharpened, into a quill, and they're going to poke themselves in the arm, and then just start writing.
You kind of recount the day.
Yeah.
You begin to write. As it begins, the page begins to fill. Just, you've met these wyvern individuals. You watch these other people do fight with them. You set a chest on fire. There's this one screaming genasi that was just beating on one of these other individuals. Just recounting all the details you can. And you watch as, after finishing writing it in your native, in Torshavn, the language of Torshavn, Beathkin, it shifts to that unfamiliar language and embeds itself into the page and disappears.
Vale's going to be very, very happy about this development. And how much time would have passed at this point?
About between the writing and the actual ritual itself, probably 30 minutes.
Okay. Then they're just kind of. Are there any Is there any sermons going on in the church next door?
No, there weren't any when your day had started. And given the lockdown, which you would notice having come past it, is actually more effective on the block as a whole.
Okay.
There's probably not going to be any more sermons today.
Okay. Then they're just going to kind of sit here for a moment, take everything in. After they've written down, it's just going to take a moment of like, holy shit, what just happened? But kind of like gather their stuff after just kind of looking around one more time for anything. Take that white feather again and just kind of stuff it into their own feathers.
All right, give me one last investigation check before you head out.
12 plus 5. 17.
It's 5, 7. Unfortunately, you don't see anything now.
Okay.
Nothing that would pique your interest.
And
Okay.
with this, Vale's going to head after some point in time of working with everybody at the gate around their part, just gonna head back and kind of just immediately beeline to sit next to the big red dragon.
Okay. So as you kind of head back, the guard, who's now a bit more processed, but a bit more awake, he's like, "Do you want me to lock this up for you? Just really tired, and my shift's ending soon."
Um. Let me check on something real quick. I need how I do this. Just give me a sec. One of the Vale's going to mimic the sound of a bowed lyre at the guard, and yeah, gonna mimic the sound of a bowed lyre at the guy for a few moments, and I'll send you what I'm doing.
I'm just gonna give him a quick insight. I was like, should I take that as a yes? Person? Okay.
and then they're gonna use their voice to say yes. Head back.
As you head back, you can see him relax a little bit. The dark bags begin to lighten slightly, and even though this is not King in the World, he'll begin to hum closing time and just begins to shut all the bits and bobs for you. Go ahead and give me a stealth check to see if you can sneak back in without the big red one and Sarah detecting it.
Oh, they definitely see me coming in. I didn't roll the 1, but I rolled close.
Oh no!
You said this is stealth?
Oh yeah.
That's a total of 9.
Oh,
9.
14
yeah.
passive perception.
Yeah, Sarah and Liz,
think
so
we
you've
all
been
have.
relaxing, and you just
There are
realized
multiple glasses in front of me at this point.
Oh,
yeah, and you
good
just
lord.
watched this Kenku individual who you didn't notice leave, just came back out of nowhere.
Liz
And
kind of like looks down and ponders one of her glasses for a moment. Nah. She just puts it down. She ponders an empty glass.
Like watching that cat in the mouse, like the mouse chasing the cat, and then you pass by the drunk, he's like dumping out the bottle afterwards.
No, she doesn't dump out. Like, she's looking at the bottle, like an empty glass, and just goes. She's like staring at it a little bit. There's a little bit of confusion on her face, but then you just hear, she just puts it down. The bottle of whiskey that you bought for everybody is mostly gone.
Big girl. Need lots.
There's 2 bottles.
But yeah, Sarah and Liz, if you don't have any interactions with Vale, we can fast forward a small bit until everybody's back at the tavern.
Once Vale gets back, Liz will, like, in the time that Vale was away, Liz just kind of asks the barkeep where she can get cigarettes, and she sounds confused about the word a little bit.
Anybody got them rolling papers?
Oh, the rolling papers.
Like, she says the word sort of right. She's like, cigarette? But
I mean, cigarettes would exist, yeah. Like it's essentially just
Cigars,
rolling papers.
yeah.
Yeah, they exist, and they've existed for a while. It's just that Liz is such a Boy Scout that she's never had to buy any.
And she doesn't even really know how, like, she's heard the word a couple times, but she's trying to say it and it's not going well.
Yeah.
Like, there's a little bit of a noise on the R's.
Stick that makes
sounds-
smoke.
Sorry, I was blanking a little bit. Were you asking me to look if you can look for cigarettes? Because I was.
Liz asks the barkeep where she can find.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, because I was handling a couple things.
Okay.
Thorlo, who's begun rounding up a couple of the other glasses, begin to webbing them down. There's a general goods store, a couple blocks up. Get some papers there.
Thank you. And she'll just. She kind of looks. She walks past the table, looks down at the glasses, sighs again, and walks out. Fine.
Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Investigation. Oh, I'm so good at those. I'm actually not bad at them. I don't think. Nah.
I thought Liz was sitting. Was she standing?
She's now
the entire
standing.
time? Well, because I sat
Yeah,
down
she-
next. I would have. I said I sat down next to her.
If you had
I was
anything-
trying. I was in the middle of all that. Liz is gone to go grab something real quick.
Oh, okay. Makes sense. Sorry.
12.
Oh. All right. One moment.
Liz is just going to be quick. She's not really going to interact with the shopkeeper or anything if she does find it. Like,
Gotcha.
it's going to be
Okay.
Which
Kind
one?
of a deal.
Yeah, she'll look at the cigarettes and just say which one, and then just pay whatever the person says to pay.
Okay. Now you can take quick note of this. You head east and a little bit south, and you actually had walked past it. Is a small shop known as the Dirty Duffel,
The dirty duffel.
Love the name.
and as
glorious.
you head inside, there's actually a very, very old mountain dwarf, who, from time to time, you would have heard his name amongst the helm. His name's Amos Steadyhand. But
Famous
that steadiness
Amos.
his steady hand, his very simply dubbed steady hand, now has a bit of a shake to it with his age. He kind of points. He's like, "You can grab a couple of packs of paper and some tobacco there. I'd say about 5 silver will do you."
Liz nods and she only has gold, so she grabs a couple of other things to make it up to a gold. Just-
Given, I actually do have this in his inventory. Given the conversation of finding work for you guys, you would be able to round it up to a gold, for 5 silver. You actually are able to get a 2-person tent.
Yes, perfect.
So 1 whole
Liz will
gold
do
will
that.
get you a 2-person tent, which, given your size, is probably a 1-person tent.
I was just about to say.
And
With her
you have-
with her legs sticking out too.
yeah, and I would say the boxes, depending on how quickly Liz or Six goes through them, you would probably have about a month's worth of tobacco and paper.
She would spend if there was any need to, the extra money on getting a nice case to hold it, like a waterproof box, if they have that.
The papers do come in like tins, and
Okay, perfect.
the tobacco as well. Yeah.
Okay, so she'll get all that. She'll put the tent just over her shoulder. I assume it comes in like a sling bag or something. And she asks for a nicer bag for the tins of tobacco and papers.
Considering you bought so much, he actually goes back and dusts off what looks to be an older bag that he actually used to use before setting up his shop about 50 to 100 years ago. At least that's how the rumor goes. And hand it to you just as a free item to go with how much you purchased.
It is just a regular bag, just a nicer one, right?
Yeah, it's a functional bag to carry the papers and such. And you got a room for a little bit more things in there too.
Okay. So Liz will put that in and she'll head back to the tavern pretty quickly. She's moving a little, like she's not like leisurely walking, she's not running, but she's moving with a purpose.
A brisk pace.
Yeah.
We'll say
Piece of that breast.
we can just fast forward a little bit until everyone's back at the tavern closer to sundown. So what are y'all doing?
I'm waiting
Liz
for the-
is Oh,
Go ahead.
Liz is patiently, air quotes, patiently waiting for Six to get back. There is
She's still in back.
there's a slightly irritated flick to her tail.
Ruby's sitting up on the counter. She's perched on the counter with a glass of wine in her hand.
Nail's gonna go grab Sarah and attempt to be excited and show an empty book.
What you got
And
there,
just like-
BB? Empty book? You gonna start a journal?
Baby.
and then just visually get frustrated at some point. And then as soon as Liz comes in the room, Vale's gonna point at Liz and then point to the book.
I don't think you want my handwriting in there.
I don't know what's cuter. Vale showing an empty book, Sarah's reaction, or the fact that nobody knows what Vale is trying to say.
It's so adorable. Protect the bone bird at all costs.
Will just enters the tavern, sees them, and heads back to the table that he was initially sitting at.
I don't think we
But-
introduced ourselves. I think I overheard that your name is Will. You look familiar.
Yes. You're a little more familiar. And he just,
she just-
rests his head on his fist.
Liz mutters, Monthrex. They all look the same.
That's
She just says
racist.
Monthrex. They all look the same.
You just notice that, he's wearing this black cloak, and, you couldn't really see his ears, but the scars on his face were pretty noticeable. And I'm just saying it to everyone.
Yeah, she kind of. Does Iris come in with Will?
Or it's right behind.
Yeah. She'll kind of she looks curious about, tiger ears, tail. But after a moment of a little bit harsher look than before, it's not meanly harsh, but just you can feel her looking at you.
Oh, so it's
Immediately
intense.
eyes down.
Yeah.
Eyes kind of down. It's like, this is not something new, but she just didn't want to, gain any more attention towards her. Just
Nice to meet you. I'm Liz.
Miss Liz, I'm Iris. Is she Liz's coat a little bit messed up from the fight?
It would have a couple, like one or two slashes into it from the
Just
cards.
kinda- Yeah, she just kind of reaches up and casts mending, just to be nice, and just to heal up the tears and the damage, just because this is a very big woman and does not want to be on her bad side.
A very
Liz
big
leans-
woman.
Liz very suddenly leans down, and a voice very full of actual, genuine, thank you. And she stands back up. Her face has not changed. but the emotion in her voice was different.
She just kind of nods and then just kind of heads over to the bar to order another drink.
Ruby is staring, by the way, but it's more like a admiring a painting kind of stare.
At who?
Iris.
I needed to clarify.
Actually, all of you, really. She's just taking her time. Iris is who she's currently on, and then she'll bounce to a different person. Big
Liz
Cheshire
will-
grin.
Liz, seeing that she's going to still be waiting for 6, kind of shuffles over to Sarah and Vale,
Mhm.
and she'll like names.
It's gonna
Who
look
wants
right
to
to
know?
Sarah. What was that?
What about names?
What are your names?
What are our names? Oh, okay. Just double checking, making sure. Hi, I'm Sarah. Nothing important to know about me. This is Bird Buddy. Everything is important about them.
You see
Your
Liz like
name is Bird Buddy.
you see Liz
I-
struggling from what? Verd, buddy?
Well, yeah. That's what I call him. It's a pet name.
And
Highly doubt that's
Sarah.
her actual name.
Sarah.
You know what? I don't want to speak for them. Hey, why don't you just say your name?
Sarah.
Bird Buddy. So they just say Bird Buddy. There you go. It's Bird Buddy. They've declared it.
Buddy. Okay.
Okay.
I'm Liz.
And as soon as Liz says Liz's name, Bird Buddy is going to point to the book again and show Liz the empty book.
I think it's their new journal.
Can I? This is gonna sound weird. Can I insight what Vale is trying to tell me?
Since Vale is actually trying to garner your attention to it, take it at advantage.
Okay. I think that's a 17.
17.
Yes, it is. 17. 13 plus 4.
Yeah.
Nice.
There's definitely, as Vale kind of flips it open to a random empty page. What gets you is the dark black leather that looks like it's had feathers pressed into it, and what looks like a small raven skull. As it flips open to an empty page. I mean, it's an empty page. They seem very intrigued with it, and they keep it close to them.
I hope that I soon understand what you're trying to tell me.
Vale's going to immediately, seeing the confusion, take the same feather again, jab themselves in the arm again,
Oh, the
and
fuck.
write the same word that they learned on that page. In
It's
the
their
Um,
blood.
So,
Yeah.
so all of you watch as Vale takes, sets the book down. She sets the book down, opens a random empty page, plucks a pristine white feather out from under her cloak, jabs it into her arm, and you watch them. You watch them begin to write into a language that none of you are familiar with their blood, and then you watch the blood seep into the page and disappears.
BB, it's called an inkwell. We will get you one. And secondly, this is the worst journal ever. Your thoughts are gone. If I were you, BB, I'd go get a refund.
So
I need a moment to stop laughing. Hang on.
I'm not there, but Sarah, so are yours.
Wait, what?
Your thoughts are gone.
Well, yeah.
Gone with the wind.
Standard. If it's not, y'all should be suspicious.
Okay. Okay.
I just love that one of them is an absolute airhead and the other one only looks like an airhead because their book is broken.
Their book is broken.
Yeah, they write in the book and it just poof, it's gone. It's a bad book. Go get another one.
Liz will just kind of like. She just kind of looks at Vale, well, Bird Buddy, and goes, "That was incredibly disturbing. But cool.
Can I wander over?
I saw you using cards earlier. What do you do with them?"
They pull out the cards again. I don't remember how many cards in this deck. Give me a second.
I think it's 54 or 52.
Okay.
Which deck are you using?
The Chiroka deck.
Oh.
They're going to start shuffling around for the cards, and I get really excited about the cards. Put the book back into the side pouch, and stuff the feather back into their other feathers.
Liz
And-
visibly relaxes once the book is away.
And they're
I would
going
just-
to just sit down and immediately start throwing down a spread of cards.
Liz will sit across from Bird Buddy.
This is completely new to Iris, so she actually comes over and just gonna watch from a little bit of a distance.
Will just
You guys,
stays where he is. Once again, takes out his bone dice and rolls them.
If you want to go ahead and do 6 of stuff, that's fine. While I look up the spread that I'm.
Yeah.
that did.
Ruby, you had mentioned looked like you wouldn't want to come in on something real quick before they
Never
pull the
mind.
cards.
I'll just stay on the I'll stay on the bar.
All right. Yeah. So at 6, you said you get back around sundown.
Yeah, I'll get back like about 10-15 minutes late.
So as you're all kind of alright, so it would still be a little bit of time before this then. I would say
Liz is distracting
after
herself
the-
from being anxious. Sorry.
yeah, you're good. I'd say it would probably be after the terror rating is probably when you're showing up. So after all of what comes next, you guys would hear a couple of shouts like, "Hey, come on, get your." A couple of guards would be like, "Hey, come on, get yourself inside."
Yeah, get your hands off me.
Yeah, they didn't. They saw what they heard. The rumors of your violent fist that has already begun to pass amongst the guards, so they're not like getting anywhere near you. They're just trying to usher you in and keeping a distance.
Tapping her on the butt with a fucking halberd.
Poking in the back.
But yeah, I walk in, hands in the pockets, a half-dead cigarette.
Ruby's immediately staring at you with a Cheshire grin.
What?
Oh, nothing, dear. Nothing at all.
Okay, I'll bite. What are you doing? She's
Well-
saying that to everybody, not just one person.
They're pulling cards.
Liz will kind of she brings a bag off of her belt and just sets it on the counter for you.
6 will make her way over. What is it? So for those close enough, and she smells like laundry detergent and dish soap and diapers.
Somehow, still a notable improvement.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Will's just still. At this point, he stopped rolling his dice and is now just looking at them. Kind of rotating them in his hand with his
One
fingers.
sec, guys. I've got a raid here. Joris, haven't seen you in a while. Thank you for the raid.
Hi.
How was your stream?
Thanks for the raid, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Welcome.
Joris.
Thank
Welcome
you.
in, Raiders. I am
Welcome.
Shotgun Sarah, if you're gaming angel and survival mom. Tonight we are playing D&D. I am playing the Rough and Tumble Tavern Brawler 6, and this is my party.
Bye.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
I have no brains.
I have
And
brains,
yeah, and
but
one of
can't
them
use
just
them.
and one of them just absolutely horrified people out of character.
I may not have a brain, gentlemen,
I
but I
had
have
to.
an
I'm
idea.
sorry. Anyway,
So yeah, I'm going through the gifts that have been brought to me. Just take them out of the bag, put them in my own.
the bag is yours as well.
It's not like a grocery bag.
It's a nice bag.
Oh, it's a newer bag. Gotcha. Thanks. I'll I guess move stuff over once we get into a room. Are we rooming together so you can keep an eye on me, or can I actually have some privacy to like change and stuff?
I was going to ask you what you would prefer.
I mean, I don't really care. I'm kind of used to a cellmate. But at the same time, I'd like to be able to masturbate without eyes.
Will is going to ignore that.
Immediate
This is
blush
just gonna-
for Iris.
Ruby's
Liz
gonna
is just-
chuckle.
So
There
The
is-
raven laugh, I love it.
There is a
Just a
familiar
little-
curl. Sorry.
So I was just gonna say, just the slightest bit of Lena begins to trickle into 6.
Just
Look, she's been in prison for 7 years.
Oh yeah.
Okay, like she's got needs too.
Mhm.
Liz will just sigh, and with the sigh, there is a very familiar curl of smoke that indicates a little bit of annoyance.
Hey, can I get a light?
The last time I tried to do something like that, I ended up burning a 15-foot line into someone's house.
I'll pull out a mat or my tinder box and light it for her.
I have that spread ready, just so you know.
So the last time you tried to light a cigarette was a full-blown like dragon breath thing.
Yeah, it's generally all or nothing sometimes.
All or nothing. So like, how dragon are you?
Looks pretty
Not-
scaly to me.
Technically not dragon.
You're not dragon, but I mean, you look like a dragon. You've got scales, you've got wings, claws, teeth, lots of teeth, and you breathe fire. So
Oh.
what's not dragon?
God.
I don't have magic.
I just watched you heal yourself earlier.
That wasn't magic.
I mean, it looked like magic.
That was a prayer.
Yeah, magic.
More divine than just anything a sorcerer or wizard would use.
Yeah, I mean, come on. There's other magic people in here. I'm sure that there's some sort of like a classification for magic, but magic is magic, yeah?
That's a form of magic.
See?
Iris kind of ducks her head like she's trying to avoid, being talked about more.
Liz just kind of sighs. Dara Strix is dragon. Dar Har is dragonborn. An echo of a dragon. So, not quite.
So, not a dragon. That's kind of disappointing. I was hoping to find your award.
Please leave my things alone. I will do my best to leave your stuff alone as well.
No, I wasn't going to do anything with it. I just wanted to be able to find it. Bragging rights, you know?
I think I should grab another glass of mead.
While
Feel free
everybody-
to.
Appreciate the
I'll cover
smokes,
it.
though, Red.
While everybody is discussing, Vale's just going to slide the first card on the table.
That will I feel like that would like bring Liz's attention back to to the table. Liz will then respond. Will then kind of just say to Six real quick, "We'll have different rooms. I like my privacy as well."
Oh, God. Thanks.
And I think they have hot water here if you want to take a bath.
I am no longer a part of this conversation. I'm going to take a bath. Who knows how many weeks I've been in that stuffy ass
less.
sarcophagus.
Do they charge for hot baths here? It's probably a good thing to check.
Don't
Liz
care.
would pay
The
for
army's
Six's.
paying for it.
Yeah. Will said as he just takes a drink of his meat. That's the good stuff.
The first card that Vale lays on the table, they can't, exactly say what it is, but it has the depiction of a person in armor with a shield, a helmet, a sword, and there's somebody in the background also dressed the same. They look to be of soldiers of some kind. And the Vale's going to. Well, DM, would I know the words to these cards?
I would say you probably would be able to mimic them in other voices.
Right.
You would have heard, like when the cards were sold to you, like this is this card, this is this card, in that shopkeeper's voice.
Okay, the Vale's going to basically shout at the top of their lungs in the voice of a soldier among battle, Myrmidon.
Is that in a different language or is that like an actual name?
It's in common. It's a thing.
Sarah just politely goes BB indoor voice.
And inside
then-
everyone's heads, it was like, oh, that was really loud.
Yeah, okay, Iris. Is what we'll ask.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
She just nods. Just kind of winced a little bit, but continued on.
So, V, for your sake, Myrmidon is a real word. It is defined as a follower or subordinate of a powerful person. Typically, one who is unscrupulous and carries out orders unquestioningly.
Thank you. Stupid appreciates it. Iris is the one who just came through the mine, correct?
I think so.
Same voice?
Yes.
Ruby will start walking over to her. And just sit down.
Finish up Vale's pulse. What you got next?
Next, next they are going to pull out a card that looks like the depiction of a priest and set it to the left of the Myrmidon. The third card that they are going to pull is going to be set just above that one. And it's going to look like a woman casting spells.
Ooh.
And Vale's going to say enchantment. Or enchanter, excuse me. Directly next to that one on the right, there's
Ears
going to
perk
be
up at that one.
Sorry?
Ears perk up at that one. But
the fourth card is going to be a depiction of a figure in a tall hat. Sort of, they appear to be sort of religious, but you can't tell. But they're going to say philanthropist. And then the last card they're going to lay directly to underneath that one, immediately to the right of the priest, and on the opposite side of the Myrmidon, there is going to be a depiction of a swashbuckler.
BB, are you making a story for us with pictures?
Sarah, I love your mind.
Um, they're going to just turn to Sarah and just like jump up and down and say and clap.
Say
And
what?
then they're just gonna turn to Sarah, jump up and down and clap, and just kind of do their raven thing.
Okay. Real life, I still don't get it. Are they happy?
So 5.
And then yeah, then the Veil's gonna collect their cards and then just watch everybody else walk away.
See, this is why I love BB. This is why BB needs attention.
Oh, Sarah.
Liz has noted down like what like they were. She's gonna go find a book to figure it out later.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Like there's gotta be. Did she see like what kind of deck it was?
Um,
right?
it's a type of tarot deck.
Yeah, like would Liz know is the real question, ain't it?
I guess that would be up to the DM.
Get you would have seen these once or twice, yeah.
Okay.
You'd have known it's a tarot deck, yeah.
Okay. I'll figure it out.
Real question is, will
Space-
you remember the order and where they were?
And then Vale's one last thing is Vale's going to turn around and then just kind of back to Liz while they're putting the cards away and flash another card at them.
Okay.
I will send you that personally.
Will
One of the
decides
cards
to.
guide me.
Sorry. Will decided to finally open up his knapsack to see what Octavia packed in.
Uh, she's just from what you could tell, she actually took some time, and she probably brought it in before everything went crazy. Was all of your was at least what she gathers is probably the more important bits of all of your research that you would have had pinned back in her home in your room.
Will's eyes widen, and he
Uh,
looks through them.
Yep. It's a fair amount of it. It's probably it's the more rare type of runes. You've seen elven runes, you've seen dwarven, but it's the more um like the rarer subspecies rune, like mountain dwarf rune, Duragar runes. Unfortunately, still none of them which you would know as ones that match that you're looking for. But included along with your common clothes and your typical belongings are your thin but reinforced bracers that work with the rest of your set.
I put them on,
and your cloak.
and I switch out my black cloak for the green one that matches the rest of my fellow legionnaires, and I once again put the hood back up and put my badge back on that cloak.
Alrighty.
While I'm sitting with Iris, if this is okay. Pardon me, dear.
Yes.
Were you the one who just spoke in my head?
I'm sorry if I know I probably didn't ask permission.
It's quite all right. I understand it wasn't a mean to thing. Can you just do your best to avoid peeking in?
I will certainly ask permission before I do so.
Thank you, darling. Beautiful ears, by the way. And with that, Ruby will see herself back to the bar.
looks a little shocked for a moment at the compliment, but okay. Kind of just nods and goes right back to the bar where she was before.
Do you guys have anything else in particular you want to do, or could fast forward a little bit more?
Yeah, I don't
I
mind
don't
fast
have
forwarding.
Unless there's a
Okay.
bard nearby.
Are we
Uh,
fast forwarding to the next day or?
Just before bed. There mechanically there is a bard nearby. Unfortunately, I haven't heard back from Chloe. I'm not sure what's going on there on their end, but
Damn. In that case,
all right. Uh, you are all divvied up for the most part. Bird Buddy and Sarah, would you take a room together, or is that would you
I'd
take
offer Bird Buddy, but I'd understand if they did not want to.
Yep.
I mean, I can't. Vale can't really sneak outside, so where they're not. I'm assuming that they're not allowed to. So,
Yeah, at this point, no.
Because
is
BB
there?
sneaks off most nights, don't they?
Yeah, BB sneaks off every night.
In this case, Sarah's very excited for the opportunity to see if BB makes a nest when they sleep or not.
Oh no,
Oh,
Sarah!
Oh my goodness.
Good lord.
I love this airhead so much.
Oh, I
Oh,
almost don't want to flirt with her.
Must protect.
Oh, stupid Sarah.
All right. Sarah and Vale, yay or nay on same room?
that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. And yes, Vale will you'd steal all of the blankets, all of the pillows, put them right into the corner of the room, and then just kind of hop about a little bit and just nestle
This may or may not be the happiest day of Sarah's life.
in.
At least
Fair
you have a
enough.
cloak.
Good lord, Sarah.
Do you
That's
guys
what's in
have
the back of the
anything?
cart. A nest.
Yeah, right. Do you guys have anything else before bed? I believe Ruby,
Yes.
you had something, yeah? Liz,
Yeah.
you as well? Okay.
I would
All right.
like to take the time to just sit down and take my thing out of the thing attached to my chain and just admire it for a little bit and just start talking in Sylvan in length of the day's events and whatnot and how very grateful she is for the help.
Um, you kind of take a deep breath. You pull it out, just admiring it. You kind of hold it, you cross your legs and sit on the edge of the bed. And you focus and just begin to chit chat to yourself. And then you hear, sorry, I'm starting to get some
Yeah, you're right. Take
heartburn.
your time.
You hear the creepy voice come back in again. After a couple minutes, very faint, you just hear,
Silence
I was there to
creature, thank
watch
you for
them
the
all.
raid. What's up, buddy?
Did you enjoy yourself?
Oh, immensely.
I'm glad you did.
You know, I come on, freaking.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
You're right.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a Tums out of the container, but it's not coming out. There we go.
Oh,
He and you watch as a particularly darkened corner of the room almost begins to shape. Very thin, almost spider web like red hair, almost entirely bald, just a few strands here and there. Um, sickly gray skin, about 1 feet tall, rotted moss and vegetation kind of clinging to his body as he kind of steps out from the shadows. the bit of the vegetation that gathers across the top of the brow. There's a light golden glow coming from the forehead. I'm trying to think which one's most interesting today.
She'll scoot over on the bed and kind of pat on it, inviting him to sit down.
And he'll muscle his way up the side of the bed, the leg of the bed, kind of crawling over on his front knuckles, almost like a small monkey. Looks at you, the thickly cataract-like eyes, peeking with a little bit of burning green. Can't decide between the bird and the blonde.
Well, they are both quite interesting.
Do you have a favorite?
Not quite yet. Although I am quite piqued at the Dragonborn.
The one from the sands. Nothing special.
Mhm.
There's a almost a slight bit of disgust in his voice of it.
Picking up on something I'm not.
Like you, she's been graced.
I see. Do you know by who? Are you allowed to tell me?
I would, but I'd like to see how you react naturally.
Of course. You always have a flair for the dramatic. I'll reach up and tuck his hair back. What?
Yeah, and as you kind of reach up and touch the hair back, you kind of coat through the very thin, like it's like putting your hand through a spider web, but there's still enough of a tension where the skin peels away slightly, and you just hear, "Rest well here, Eudor," and he just disappears into a dark Icarish green mist.
I will with you watching me. And with that, she'll go to bed.
Liz, you got anything?
Hut. First of all. Second, Liz will knock on Six's door.
So, before all of this, before we ended up actually going and fast forwarding to bedtime, I ended up rolling a wisdom save. I rolled a 6.
That's funny.
Hey.
So, when Liz comes to knock at my door, I am in the midst of a PTSD episode.
Oh.
So, a 6, if Liz were to just open the door to check on her, 6 is just on the balcony. She's got a lit cigarette. She's staring off into nothingness. And all she can hear is the banging of blade on metal, the fall of blows, and a young girl scream. And she shuts her eyes, takes another puff, just kind of stares into space.
So Liz would knock on the door, and not that Six hears it, but she kind of stumbles trying to say Six's name. Six?
Yeah.
6?
Yeah, what?
Can I come in?
Yeah, come on.
She opens the door.
She's standing out on the balcony, like the doors like to the balcony are open, and she looks freshly cleaned, like her hair's not greasy and matted. She's still in her old clothes, like those are still dirty, but Yeah, it's mostly just her pants, her boots, for whatever reason she put those back on, and her tank top. Just outside leaning up against a rail, smoking.
Liz is far too large for the door because these are normal people doors.
Give me a dex check as you get through the door, Liz.
That's what I thought. I was literally like, "Where's my dice?"
Great, we're gonna break another doorway.
Doors are
Oh
special.
no!
door.
Oh no! Hang on.
Oh.
Can I just call it?
So it's not a 1.
But
Not
It's
a
a
20.
3,
Oh, that's.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Smacking
Uh,
the
it's-
horns on it.
and it's a 3 on the 0 because I have +0 to my dex.
So as you kind of open the door, you see Six, and there would the processing be visible, Six, like on her face? Would be
Her eyes look haunted.
you kind of see that look on Six's face, and you kind of step forward, and as you kind of step through the doorway, it's a familiar face of haunted in a deep past, and it kind of catches you off guard as the talon at the very hinge of your wing just cuts right through the wood frame.
Oh, n-
Meanwhile,
We had
in the
the
next
same thought.
meanwhile, in the next room over, Sarah's like, either we're under attack or that's a kindred spirit.
Okay, but
Pringle, we
That
had the
could-
exact same thought of what got caught on the door frame too.
oh yeah, but you're able to make it through no problem.
kindred spirit.
It's kind of like,
Six does have a momentary, like, she's amused by the struggle. Just trying to, like, find the humor in other people's misfortunes.
yes, yes. Laugh at the giant dragonborn. It's fine.
Oh, I am.
I actually mostly came to check on you, see how you were faring.
See if I ran off yet.
Mostly to sort of apologize for earlier.
Oh, why?
Shouldn't have talked to you that way.
Like what?
Like I could order you around to do anything.
Yeah, there it is.
We are in this a little bit together. You don't want to go back to jail. I don't want to get written up for you going back to jail.
I mean, even if they were gonna send me back to jail, it wouldn't be to stay. And if I go back to jail, they're just gonna kill me.
And when she says that, I think back to the letter that I still need to investigate a little bit further on, which I will do at the end of session, and you can just tell me at leisure what it is. But, well, let's try to
Well, we
prevent
do it.
that.
We'll do it. We'll do it in chat, depending on what you get.
Okay. Liz, kind of, yeah, haven't heard very good things about the kiln.
Yeah, it got exponentially worse while I was in there. I don't want to sit there and talk about what it was like in there. Just, it was a living hell. That's all you've got to know. You don't want to go. I don't want to go. Ruby might want to go.
do I?
Liz, for
Ruby,
as long as you've known her,
Sorry.
Liz you don't know much about Liz's facial expressions, but it's all in the way her body kind of like shifts towards you. There is something that she wants to ask that she's not asking.
Can I roll an insight on that? See if I actually do pick that up.
Sure.
Or is it like obvious enough?
That's
Liz
up to
isn't hiding it. It's not a hidden thing. Like, this is not something Liz can really like hide, to be completely honest.
Go ahead. Ask, what is it?
Was there anyone in there that didn't belong?
Yeah. Yeah, plenty of them.
I hope you enjoy your cigarettes. Rolling papers.
Cigarettes. Yeah. You had it right the first time. Look. That stuff that was in the box. That's really dangerous. You know what that is, right?
I left Advalor before that was a thing on the streets.
Lucky you. Stuff was made where I'm from.
Yeah.
I grew up in Stonegate, and shit really went downhill really fast. I started making this drug called what was it? Glimmer. I don't know what it is, but it turns you into some sort of super being, and at the same time the crash is I'd rather stay in the kiln.
Liz seemed to have zoned out at Lucky You a little bit, but she processed enough of what you said to get the gist.
So
well,
it's
I
a
will.
good thing that we gave. I can't even remember their name. They're not important enough for me to kill, let alone remember their name.
Let's try to keep the killing to a minimum, please.
I'll try, okay? But if somebody looks at me a certain way...
Liz, once again, you get that familiar rise out of Liz where there's just a little bit of a smoke curl.
I'll never get over that. That's a lot of fun. Do you need some help getting out the door, or do you just want to like jump and
I
try
think I
it?
will be just fine.
Okay.
If you need me.
Liz, are you on the balcony at this point, or?
Yeah, she would have walked out to the balcony.
Okay. You both hear from above you.
We didn't hear what you said. The Discord.
You
You
cut
hear.
out.
Let me just type it. Because apparently Discord doesn't like me going, hey. Psst.
You like you
Being
said
all-
glimmer, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I caught it that time. Hey, psst, psst.
Liz will look up.
Hi, posture check. Sit up, you ash you. You look like a banana.
And
A croissant.
down at the
A third
view,
example. It's unbecoming.
You see the familiar off yellowish eyes of the tabaxi woman still in her mask.
Ooh.
Do it.
Do I hear this too?
Yeah, we both do.
She's looking down. She's looking down at both of you.
All right, so yeah, I'm still kind of like lounging on the railing. There's like no intention of combat, and like this is still like this is the wyvern chick, right?
Hey, let's see.
The
Jadalix.
yeah, Jadalix.
Yeah,
For
wyvern,
clarification, it's Jadalix. You don't know it's Jadalix, yeah.
So she's gonna look up at her. How's the big guy?
Well, was supposed to be his last mission, and then he was gonna compete in a tournament in a few weeks, but he's ready to retire early.
Well, I hope his retirement's a happy one. Just sucks that he had to end in a loss.
Yeah.
Ooh.
He's always been a bit brash,
Yeah, I know that feeling.
but he's offered me to give you something.
Well, yeah, sure, come on down. But I am really curious, why did you guys want that stuff?
We wanted it destroyed.
Well, that's what we're doing with it too. So I guess mission accomplished.
Seems so. And she'll go over to the edge of the balcony and jump down and land on the railing. You notice at this point, as she lands, she sticks a dagger back into its holster. Reaches into a pouch, keeping an eye on both of you. And she hands you Six a rolled up piece of parchment.
No, tuck the cigarette in my lips, take the parchment and open that up. Is this like a death threat or?
Nope. Very clearly as you open it up, it's a consent form for an underground boxing league, and at the bottom it says the prize is a shot at contendership.
A shot at what?
Rudani,
Shut up, what?
a shot at let me speak.
Oh
A shot
god,
at the
Discord.
Yeah, you're cutting out, man.
testing.
Okay,
Test.
yeah, we got you saying testing. It's just, was really spotty for a second there.
It was going fine all day.
Yeah, you're good now though. Go ahead. A shot at what?
It's a shot at the contender position for the Rudanian Association, which is work in line with the Chapter of Steel to put on shows and boxing exhibitions. And at least this one takes place somewhere in Trustfell in roughly 6 weeks. 4 to 6 weeks. And on the back is some kind of encrypted map.
Liz has not taken her eyes off the tabaxi. She's not in a defensive enough stance to be like threatening, but she does then say after a bit, "Tell the pink one I'm sorry for swinging at her." Kind of reflex.
Yeah, stand down, Big Red. If she wanted us dead, we'd be dead already. So you're recruiting me for a boxing ring?
Well, we've heard most of us aren't from Advalor. Amethyst and Sapphire, they were. And at this point, she turns and stares at Liz. He had been waiting to throw a shot back at you. Sorry, I'm blanking. What was it you had said before she went on the tangent?
Yeah, she's...
Liz had said, "Tell the pink one
that
I'm sorry for swinging at her. It was a reflex."
Yep. And what was it you had said?
So you're recruiting me for a boxing ring?
Yeah, so she says that little remark to Liz, looks back to you, Six. I'm not necessarily recruiting you, but a lot of people back home for our faction. When the factory fell, we had lost hope with the Grasp's death and their decimation. If you are who he thinks you are, maybe we have to rely on them.
All right.
And the them is vague.
Yeah, I gathered.
Mm.
Alright, so I'll fold that up. Let him know that I accept. Just tell me how much and whose ass am I kicking?
1 second.
You can take your time whenever you get the chance.
I don't know who you're gonna be fighting, but the entry fee's about 25 gold, winner take all, and he thinks
Yikes.
you'll walk away with about 200.
That's a lot of scratch.
The benefactors intrigued with some of the forms here.
So how long we got to come up with the money?
I would say turn it in 3 to 4 weeks, a couple days before the first fights.
Got it. Well, thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for not kicking my ass, but I had to.
I was gonna.
Topar wanted to make sure we can reach out to you if we wanted to.
Yeah, she's good people. I liked her. I didn't want to have to kill her.
You don't want to.
Good night, Sally. Good night, Sevi. What's up?
Say she didn't want to harm anybody either.
Alright. I suppose I should let you leave without anything broken. So, yeah, good faith and all. Good night.
As well. And she'll flip off the back, and you won't even hear her land. She just vanishes.
That's a cool cat. I'll finish up my cigarette and just flick the butt out into the street.
Liz just kind of goes, "Was that a joke?"
Was what a joke.
I was really hoping for a moment that they flick the cigarette from down below. You hear, "No, motherfucker."
Nah, it's fighting time. No.
Oh,
Liz,
now you fucking did it.
Liz just kind of, I am going to go to bed now and pretend that didn't happen.
That what didn't happen?
Exactly.
Exactly. Get the fuck out of my room.
See you in the morning, 6.
Yeah, I
And when
guess
she
so.
says 6, it's not like it doesn't. It sounds like she's saying sick, like someone is sick, and then with a lot of s's at the end.
Gotcha.
But she makes her way through the door properly this time. Kind of.
Yeah, it's just extra couple seconds.
And then I would like to go back and do what I need to do for that letter.
All right. Go ahead and describe how you clean in which sheet, which one of the sheets.
So first I check the one with the GW and gold scale. And the letter itself. I will take that and I will put it down on the. I assume there's a desk in the room. If there's not, I just find a place on the floor.
Go ahead and describe it. No need to be.
I said I assume there's a desk in the room.
Yeah.
Okay. She will. So she usually dulls down most of her nails, but the one claw that she keeps sharp is her thumb nail on her right hand, and she digs in and draws a line of blood across her palm and drips it slowly over the page that was sent to her in the blank space of the page.
Is I seem to be seeing some info. Angel, can you go ahead and ping me? I know that you sent me the list of all the individuals, but can you ping me the ones where we had covered the appearances? So if we get for your crew.
I would have to go and find
I
it.
see their, yeah, because I see their names. I just can't remember which one was which. But you said, but Liz, you're doing the standard letter first, right?
Yeah, and then she would move on to the other letters as well. Just checking.
Okay. So as you, one moment, as you drop the blood, a little bit of blood from your hand onto the standard letter that you got from GW. It settles for a moment, and then light green embers begin to engulf it and burn away the invisible inks and oils that had been covering the sheet. And at the bottom, just before it, where it says you have to look after her now, there's a couple extra sentences that says not quite everything as it seems. I had to pull some strings to get this information.
I
Very
sent
careful.
the.
Trust.
Sorry, I sent the
Yep.
descriptions that I've got.
So I don't, because there's the other two.
Yeah, and those we didn't actually like type out what they look like, but here's the picture to the one with the shorter name.
Yeah, and that's the one.
Yeah, that's the one with the shorter name. Yes.
Cool.
Yes, correct.
Alrighty. So you go ahead. You're doing the next set of sheets.
Mm-hmm. And now that
Okay.
she's got like plenty of blood on her palm, she just kind of takes the thumb and just wipes it on the sheet.
All right. Which one do you do next? There is there is Ozen Merrick, Tyson Hendricks, Thiakos Zornin, Riker Donnan, and Shaddix Greaves.
Liz does she just goes in order. She doesn't like, why does my internet keep dropping? Jesus. She just kind of goes in order of the pages. She doesn't really, she's not doing this out of order because she just kind of wants to get the information that she missed earlier.
Okay. So as you get the blood over Ozen's sheet, depicted in the upper left corner is a burly man with some mutton chops, bit of a goatee, fairly well maintained, and a bit younger. It's very similar scowl. And as you kind of wipe your hand across his name, and what is it? You wipe your hand across his name and his rap sheet. The name Ozen Merrick stays the same. Deceased stays the same. Alias, where there was none, there's the Jackal, or the Jackal of Stonegate. The rap sheet includes assault and battery, a couple murders. But what is really jarring is leader of anarchist organization known as the Grasp. And just below that is indoctrination of youths to personal cause.
Okay, next one.
Next one. Jackson Hendricks. No smear across the blood. With the blood, no alias pops up. Still marked as deceased. Nothing in his rap sheet outside of petty theft. There is one thing that pops up. And at least it states that he was last seen trying to enroll in the Draconic Sanctorum back in 850.
In the Draconic Sanctorum?
Trying to get into the Scale Guard, but apparently deceased sometime since then. Depiction of a fairly young kid, maybe 11 or 10, 11, 12. Deep brown skin, very wide, energetic smile. Similar haircut to Six, shaved sides, shaved top with a little bit of some kind of a decal on the side that you can't quite make out. But that's it. Nothing much intriguing about him. Thiakos Zornin. His alias pops up as Fingers. You see a fairly bland human with glossy, stark black hair, heterochromia eyes, one green on the left, and his right eye is blue. Fingers pops up as the alias. Deceased changes to location unknown. Rap sheets, petty theft, coercion, more typically of a more charming underground individual. Riker Donnan, a half Goliath, dark gray skin, shaved completely around, at least in the picture, about the same age as Six was in her photo. Still deceased.
What was Riker's alias if he had one?
I think Riker have an alias? Because we got so
No,
much
there was
information.
no alias for Riker.
How do you spell
Sorry.
Riker and how do you spell Zornin?
Riker.
We'll get it.
In chat, please. Love you.
Oh, we'll get that after the stream.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Let me go back. Riker Donnan is a Goliath individual, shorter than most, especially for his age, maybe about 5'5", depicted in the photo, but still fairly muscular. Multiple assault and batteries. No murders to speak of. But based on his rap sheet, seems to be more of the muscle of the group. Shaddix Greaves. I think Shaddix had a nickname.
Yes.
Angel's notes.
You see where it is? Because I can't.
Shax.
I could have sworn I had it organized. Shax. Okay. Shaddix, Shax, Riker. Or not Riker. Greaves, rather. Apologies. Fairly thin, scraggly looking individual. God, this Discord is acting up like a motherfucker. Kind of has a mousy face.
Oh, shit.
Multiple accounts of B&E that he was never convicted for. given his nimbler and smaller frame, he was probably the infiltration specialist of the group. All of them are listed as co-conspirators of the anarchist group known as the Grasp.
And how many of them deceased changed to location unknown?
Just fingers.
Okay.
All of them are still. All the others are still labeled deceased.
Fingers is the Xynon guy.
Thyakos Zornin, yeah. We'll get to that
Thank
after
you.
stream because their names are
Rough.
there's a lot. Yeah.
I
like
got
it
the
rough.
basic names. The
What?
But continue, Liz.
Liz will just kind of take a moment. And then she flips to Six's rap sheet and just kind of draws a line down just to check.
Nothing changes about location unknown, any other aliases. You would see it in that where it split after multiple counts of murders. There was a bit of a space, and the multiple assaults and batteries of when she was during her incarceration are listed. In that space, lists inductee to the Grasp and espionage.
Liz sighs. A whole lot of nothing. In her eyes, it's a whole lot of like just information, like extra info. She's really not going to use any of it at the moment. So she wraps her hand a little. She just kind of takes. She has like strips of cloth in her bag for this. She just takes one and wraps her hand a little. She pulls out that little piece of metal at the bottom of her bag and just kind of grips it for a moment before putting it back at the bottom of her bag and folds up the papers and tries to go to sleep.
You kind of take that moment looking at the bit of metal, these bits of spikes that kind of form its edges, each changing to a different color. And you get flashes back to the fight earlier in the day. You kind of grip it and can feel it creak a little in your hand before you stuff it back in. And you could begin to process everything. Iris.
Yes.
What are you doing after that quick little peek that you took?
Well, she's first of all happy to actually have a bed to sleep in this time rather than just the back rooms that was offered to her by someone or a shopkeeper. Despite using a little bit of her prestidigitation to a little flower smell to make it try to be a little bit more comfortable, she just can't quite get to sleep. This whole finally using powers against other people really shook her up, and she just wanted to be a little stronger about it. And her mind drifted a little bit towards that criminal that she saw that seemed so sure of herself. And while Six was in the middle of her trauma, her brain picked up an image. This poor little beaten girl, almost 10 years, with sandy hair and blue eyes, just crying. And she shook back up as immediately as she saw it. It's just like, oh, great. then she just tries to roll over and go back to sleep, just curling up in the bed as much as she can, holding the pillow.
As you process this image, this young girl weeping uncontrollably, that same look of fear and distress, and your kind of mind begins to wander back to yours and your past, as you can begin to notice having messed with Edmar, having cast your thoughts out to the others inadvertently, getting that peek into this person that you now know as Six. You begin to kind of resent yourself for it. And then you think back to what Amethyrin said. You have potential. And you think of your response. And as you begin to doze off, while you do get a long rest, your thoughts go back to your past. And within the darkness, you see framing the edges as dark, rotted flesh, blackened blood dripping in this long tunnel that you remember running out of. And you turn, and that same figure appears. Dark blue, almost black skin, black eyes, a brass mouthpiece covering his nose and jaw, smooth skin, and smooth shaven head. This nightmare has been frequent for you. Daughter has so much more to do. And that's where we're going to end.
Session?
That's the session.
I mean, we could
my
go for a
God.
little bit longer, right?
I sadly am in the East Coast.
Oh, damn
Aw.
it.
Damn it,
Yeah,
East
I'm in
Coast.
the EST.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's 11 o'clock
Quite
right
a-
now for us.
I think I'm good. I think I'm good.
We can probably
And
hang
that
out
was-
a little bit after stream to make it 4 if you
Yeah.
want, Angel.
Oh, I mean, like, yeah, but it's not D&D.
We can talk about D&D. I mean, we had some pretty big fucking lore drops tonight.
Yeah, no kidding.
Am I
save
right?
Save some of the talks for next
Yeah,
Tuesday.
we're gonna have to like actually save our talks for Tuesday. So like write down some serious like key points and we'll really go over it. Now we actually have a lot to talk about now.
I didn't take as many notes this time during session, so I'm gonna have to legitimately go back and I about stabbed myself in the eye.
Yeah. Well, that's
Go
what the
through my
VODs are
notes.
for. Yeah, that's what the VODs are for.
Ripples furiously.
Yeah. I take
Yeah,
notes so
it's
bad I
fun.
nearly injured myself.
There's some
Oh.
interesting lore about a few of you now.
I'll just say that Will went straight to bed after everything that happened.
Did not pass go, did not collect $200.
I'm excited to see your guys' reaction to some of it, or hear about it.
Sarah slept with absolutely no blankets and no pillows.
Poor Sarah.
But Bird Buddy. Sarah got
Yeah,
Bird
don't get
Buddy.
me wrong. Yeah, she is absolutely thrilled to see Bird Buddy in a nest. Fuck the blankets.
Worth it. 100% worth it.
That is her thought process.
Are we gonna essentially have to make like a portable Val nest that's not in the cart?
I mean, Val drives the cart, so
I know. You never know what's gonna happen to the cart, man. We could lose the cart.
no. No.
Better hope not.
Not yet. I will give you guys some respite. The cart will be a mainstay for a little while, just because there's a lot of you. Granted, not all of you will be able to fit in it.
We'll
so you
need
guys
another
will have
cart.
to. Yeah, you'll have to get like other forms of transportation, which I do have plans for. But the
shouldn't be
reason I
too
stopped
hard.
early is because I need to come up with the jobs that Lancer's going to give you guys.
Yeah, we actually do need work because I need that buy-in.
I mean,
Fair enough.
Could go on a fetch quest. Could go on a kill quest. Could go on a fetch and kill quest. Fetch me the souls.
I mean, John.
But
I mean. Oh, good
do you
lord.
like them?
Oh, I love it.
Emotional.
I love
damn
it. It's so. I was smirking the entire time. I'm still smirking. I hope all of you know. Biggest fucking Cheshire grin ever.
All right, so stick around, guys. We are going to raid off. But
Woo,
I hope you guys had fun. I certainly did.
Yeah.
Thanks for stopping in, chat.
What's in the
Got it.
box?
Put a donut in my
We
mouth.
found out.
Yeah, we definitely did find out.
Aren't you happy, Angel?
No, absolutely not. I'm just happy that we got to fucking destroy the shit.
She waited 2 weeks to know what's in the box, and she's not
Yeah.
happy about what's in the box.
Well, I'm not happy about what's in the box. I am happy that we got to see what's in the box.
Fair enough.
Were you disappointed it wasn't a severed head?
I'm
Anyway,
not
I
saying
wasn't
a
good at that,
fucking
Joe.
word. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and call it here, guys. I thank you guys for coming out. I'm having so much fun playing this game, and I am so happy to be able to be sharing it with you guys. If there's any parts that you ended up missing, be aware that I do post my VODs on my YouTube, which, you know, is still under the same name, so just go ahead and give me a search up. I can also post them in my Discord, which, by the way, if you aren't already in that, join my Discord. We hang out in there quite often, with and without community. I will often go into the VCs and just vibe. We have watch parties. It's a lot of fun, so come on in. But with that, yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow for Waifu Wednesday.
See ya,
Chat.
chat.
Alrighty.
Bye, chat. Love you,
Bye.
chat. Mwah, 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 mwah.
Have a good night, guys.
Descent, red strands like fire haze, halo tilted, wings clip caught in the craze. Dark seduction, a demon's turned wild, forbidden passion, love untamed primal. She a succubus, shadows dance in her eyes, horns growing, sit wrapped in midnight skies, hearts